For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record.
All right, what is up, everybody? So, first off, sorry for dropping the ball. I know I haven't uploaded in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I said I was going to be doing like at least 2 videos a week. Things got kind of crazy and pre-workout. But things got kind of crazy, especially this past week. And even though I recorded like probably at least 7 or 8 videos worth of stuff, I'm probably just going to trash it all and just kind of move on and start with this one, just because I don't have the time to go back and rework on everything, edit it, get it all done. Because I've got so much on my radar right now that I just don't have the time. So this is going to be a restart of the series. Yay! But anyway, so yesterday, well, let's see. I'll start off just by showing my weight here. So this morning weighed in at what, like 191.23, something like that. Whatever the screen shows. And yeah, so if you guys remember, I was down to like 188, 187-ish. And then this past week happened. So a lot of stuff happened. First and foremost, I had to shoot a wedding on Friday, all the way out in Everett, Washington, which was like a 6-hour drive. And with that, I just didn't have the means or access to like all my prep meals and all that stuff. So I really didn't worry about it. I wasn't too concerned. So I ended up eating a whole bunch of crap. We had ice cream on the drive there. On the drive back, just stopped, got a McDonald's ice cream cone and an apple pie, because you can't have ice cream without apple pie. But yeah, so I had a whole bunch of crap there. So my weight was up a little bit, which is why I hit some cardio this morning. Just hit 30 minutes on the stair stepper. And yeah, going to be incorporating cardio every other day starting this week. 30 minutes fasted in the mornings. Then I'll end up having like a pre-workout kind of meal, which will be about 8 ounces of orange juice and like 4 to 6 ounces of ounces of spinach. Throw that in the blender, chug that, wait about 20 minutes, have my pre-workout, which I'm having now, and then hit the gym. So that's going to be kind of my schedule going forward. And yeah, really going to be trying to stick to that. Going to be focusing on keeping my diet solid as much as possible. I don't have a lot of other stuff coming up now, so I'm going to be able to stick to my diet. And yeah, we're just going to keep it solid, keep it good, and keep this thing rolling. Again, with us having to, I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but we have had to cancel our vacation in September. We were supposed to be going to Sandals in Jamaica, one of the Sandals resorts. And Sandals sent us an email saying that Jamaica is no longer accepting U.S. passports. Thanks, America. But we were planning on probably canceling it anyway, just because of everything going on. My wife was getting kind of nervous of traveling, especially because we have some other big news that we'll be announcing Saturday or Sunday of next week, which has been making her kind of nervous about traveling. So yeah, it's just been it's been a blessing in disguise. We're hoping to just reschedule it for like the same time next year, just push it out a year. Hopefully by then everything should, fingers crossed, knock on wood, be back to normal and we'll be able to travel. But anyway, without that, I don't really have any set, like,
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
I don't have really any set goal or end date for this cut now. It's pretty much just like,
I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
it's my phone, sorry. That's pretty much just like, I'm going to be dieting for as long as it takes to get down to something that I like. Not the best way to do it. I definitely prefer to have like some kind of end goal besides just like, oh, I want to look good or I just want to hit this specific weight. It's definitely nice to have something to work towards.
Swear that I'm up to no
Jeez,
good.
my phone is just blowing up. So yeah, we'll see. I might kind of see if there's something towards like 14, 16 weeks out from where I'm at now. I definitely don't think there's any competitions anywhere in my area that's that far out. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Might just work towards like Halloween. Yeah, there's the goal. But anyway, I am getting ready to hit the gym. Again, kind of resetting my workout schedule, resetting my plan, just because I haven't been able to work out the past 2 days because I've been traveling on the road so much. So we're going to be hitting a push workout, chest, shoulders, triceps, then finishing with some core, and I'm probably going to try and do some stretching after that. I'm going to be doing all my cooking for the week, and yeah, we're just going to see what happens today. So, starting things off, I've got a scoop of hydraulic unicorn blood, awesome flavor. Then we've got a scoop of ignition switch, and with this one, this is the watermelon lemonade. These two flavors combined, love them. This is one of my favorite flavor combos. Then I've got my secret weapon, as always, about 1/8 teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt. And finally, just like 5 grams of creatine. Again, it's not hydraulic, it's creatine. Yeah, other thing I took this morning with my cardio, I had one of these guys, which this is, I don't know if you can see that, probably not going to focus, there we go, Fired. This is basically just a thermogenic kind of fat burner. I've had them for like a year now from the last time I did a cut, and I just didn't finish them off last time. So I'm going to start taking them probably when I do fasted cardio. Just kind of helps get a nice, really good sweat rolling. As you saw, I kept all my sweats on. I kept my hoodie on, my sweatpants, all that stuff. Just, I like getting a really good sweat rolling when I do cardio. Keeps things going really for me really well. That's what I like to do. But anyway, I am rambling now, so I am going to chug this guy, go start warming up, and we are going to hit a damn good workout. Because I have not worked out in like 2 days, and I miss it, and I want to kill this workout. So we're going to go. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop talking now. All right, so we are warming up with incline bench. Going to be working up to probably like 4 by 8 to 12, I think is what I'm going to be hitting. Using the Rhino flex bar, definitely by far my favorite bar so far for bench. I don't know, just something about it, it just feels natural. It feels a lot more comfortable than a traditional bar, just the way it flexes. It takes all the strain out of my wrist and everything. So after using it for several weeks now, definitely has become probably my favorite bar so far for benching. At least for like volume work, for heavy singles and stuff like that, I think I still prefer my camber bar. Just puts my hands in a really solid position. I like the feeling of it. But for rep work, volume work, stuff like that, this bar has definitely been my go-to. With that being said, there are a few kind of negatives to it that I've kind of come to find as I've used it. First and foremost is the lack of knurling. Definitely sucks, especially on like hot, humid days when I start getting sweaty, my hands start getting sweaty. I gotta make sure that I use chalk, otherwise the bar gets very slick and it can slide right out of my hands, which I want to be real careful with. But the other thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the lack of power rings. They've got a couple of rings like towards the center of the bar, but I'm not a huge fan of not having like power ring marks towards where a standard power bar would have them. It just makes getting the alignment for my hands a lot more difficult. What I'm probably gonna end up doing is taking like some hockey tape or grip tape actually, and just lining this bar up next to my power bar and basically just wrapping it right along where the power rings would be, just so I have some kind of grip there. Would make it a lot easier to hold, a lot better. Personally, I would like it a lot more. That's kind of one of my only major complaints about this bar, apart from the fact that my calibrated plates don't really fit all that well, but I knew that going into it. So yeah, would highly recommend this bar. I'll definitely be doing like a full kind of detailed review on it sometime in the future, once I've used it a little bit more, gotten really accustomed to it. But overall, 2 thumbs up. Again, it's the Dumbbell Rhino Flex HD. Great bar. right, so ended up treating, what was that? 45 plus 10s, 10 kgs. Yeah, mixing and matching pound and kg. But ended up treating that first set that I spoke to you guys with after as my first working set. So hit that about 65 kg roughly for, what was that, 12 reps. Bumped up the weight to about 75 kg, hit that for 10. Hit that again for another set, so working set 3 for 8. And with the 2 previous sets, you might notice that I'm not coming down all the way. I'm not touching my chest. I'm not bouncing the weight off my chest. A couple reasons for that. First is I'm just focusing on keeping time under tension, controlling the weight as opposed to just moving it. And the other reason is to help protect my shoulders. Right shoulder is feeling a little bit funky when I'm coming all the way down, especially as I'm kind of increasing the weight a little bit. So just kind of stopping about an inch or 2 shy of hitting my chest, and it just helps protect my shoulder a little bit more. If I wanted to, I could drop the incline down and I'd be able to probably do the full range of motion, but honestly, I'm not too concerned with hitting full range of motion. I'm more concerned with feeling out the movement, staying safe as possible, and just kind of working through a nice, solid, controlled range of motion and just focusing on that pump. So that's what I'm doing right now. I got one more set and then we'll move into the next exercise. Let's go. So on to the next exercise, which, as you can see, it's going to be an earthquake bar bench. Now, using the Rhino Flex again, I do have my DIY earthquake bar, which was the PVC one. I'll link that up in the cards somewhere around here, wherever that is. If you guys want to try build one, works extremely well. With it, I've gone up to like 225-ish. And it's held up just fine. It's made out of PVC. It's like $15 of materials, and yeah, it's held up super well. I've had it for probably like 6-7 months, and I've used it fairly regularly. And yeah, I haven't had any issues with it. So I would highly recommend that if you guys want to just give something like this a try. And yeah, I'm just playing around with using the Rhino Flex in place of that guy just to see how it actually acts as an earthquake bar. It's definitely a little bit stiffer than my DIY one, so it doesn't flex nearly as much, but that's also probably to be expected because this one has a weight capacity of I think 600 pounds, and that's even more than like a standard earthquake bar, which is like right around 300 pounds. So it's definitely going to be stiffer than your traditional earthquake bar, but if it works nearly as well when loaded similar to an earthquake bar, I honestly don't see the point of buying or spending like an extra $320 on an actual earthquake bar when I can use this for both movements or both types of movements. So that's why I'm kind of experimenting with this, seeing if it functions close enough to an earthquake bar as an actual earthquake bar would. I mean, definitely someday I would like to get an actual bamboo bar or an earthquake bar just so that I have it, but yeah, that's an extra like $320 that I really don't want to have to spend right now on a specialty bar when I can spend it on other specialty bars or buy something else like some more plates or something. I don't know. It's something that I don't necessarily need if I can get this to work like that bar would. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now with this, with earthquake bar benches or this kind of instability movement, usually I like to keep the reps anywhere from 15 to 20, so a lot higher, focusing on just stabilization, keeping the reps controlled, slow, trying to stabilize the oscillations of the bar, of the weights, and yeah, just trying to keep those reps high, keep that weight under control, and not let it throw me around. I'm the one throwing the weight around. So let's get into it and let's keep rolling. To the next movement, we're going to be doing a low incline dumbbell fly. Now with this one, we're going to be using an intensity technique that I like to call pump reps. So instead of doing just a standard full range of motion, what we're going to be doing is 2 reps that are partial range of motion, so focusing on the bottom about 1/3 to 1/2 of the range of motion, and then you're going to do 1 full range of motion rep, and that's going to consist of 1 pump rep. Basically, that's 1 rep. So we're gonna do that for we're gonna target 10 reps of those pump reps. And with each full range of motion one, what I'm really focusing on is squeezing from my pinkies, pulling my pinkies together at the peak and squeezing my chest as hard as possible. So this is how I'm kind of doing it. So at the peak, I'm gonna be trying to touch the bottom of the dumbbells together and squeezing like that. So squeeze, then we come down, up, up, and that's 1 rep. We're doing that 10 times. So 3 working sets, and then we're gonna move into the next exercise. Oh man, with this one, you should be kind of like 1 or 2 reps shy of failure when you hit that 10 reps. If you feel like your weight is either too heavy to hit 10 or too light because you can't like get in between, like say 32 fives as opposed to doing 30s or 35s for me, then just focus on controlling that squeeze a little bit more, control that negative and slow the whole rep down. That's gonna increase the intensity a little bit and make lighter weight harder. So anyway, that was set 2 or 3, I gotta check, I'm vlogging everything. So I've either got 1 more or I'm moving on to the next exercise. All right, on to the next movement. We're gonna be performing a low cable fly. So essentially from low to high, this is going to be targeting kind of more of the upper chest. With this particular movement, I want you to avoid letting your hands come past your body. Your elbows are okay to come back a little bit, but try not to let them come back too far, because that's going to put a lot of excess tension and stress on your shoulders, which we don't want to do. We don't need to stretch that far back. So essentially we're just going to be coming back to right about level with our torso, stretch the chest out, come back up, squeeze that upper chest. So keep the weight light to start, focus on slow, controlled ranges of motion, starting from right about here, up and squeeze. 8 to 12 reps. This one's gonna give you a nasty pump. Ooh. Whew. 4 working sets. Alright, so as you guys saw, after finishing up the flies, then moved into some dumbbell upright rows. With those, really just focusing on controlling the weight. I am using a little bit of momentum, but focusing on trying to target the lateral head and the rear delt a little bit more, as opposed to just coming straight up. So really putting a little bit more emphasis towards the rear delt. And with those ones, again, about 12-15 reps. Only did 3 sets there, nothing crazy. Went a little bit heavier, so like I was saying, used a little bit of momentum, but trying to really focus on squeezing and pausing at the top. Just hold that squeeze for a fraction of a second and then control the weight down. Don't just throw it around, don't let it control you, control the weight. Now, once I finished off with that, 3 sets, 12-15 reps, now moving into some chest supported, I guess these would be called chest supported incline reverse flies. So from here, pretty much just coming in, out, focusing on the lateral head, or not the lateral head, but the rear head of the delt. Just trying to get those rear delts engaged, get them firing. Same thing, around 12-15 reps. And then what I'm doing is once I hit that like 12, 15 rep range, which is where I'm failing, then I'm switching into more of just a swing, so something similar to a meadow swing. If you guys don't know what those are, look it up. It's a kind of technique by, an intensity technique by John Meadows, great bodybuilder. But if you don't know exactly what it is, essentially you're just sitting here, you're swinging the dumbbells, but you're focusing on contracting whatever muscle you're trying to target. So just very small movement, squeeze, 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 just like that. And that's basically just to, again, further the pump, increase the intensity a little bit, and push past that failing point to where you can only reach with proper form. So instead of trying to just throw the weight around and get some forced reps, I'm just increasing the intensity by doing essentially partials and just squeezing those rear delts even more, pumping extra blood into them. So 3 sets here, 12 to 15 reps controlled, and then hitting like 5, 10 reps for just partials with the Meadows style of rep. So let's go. This is set 3. Next movement is going to be chain skull crushers. So I've got 2 sets of chains here, about, what are they, 20 kg. And with this, what I'm going to be doing is around 10 to 12 reps. Essentially just standard skull crusher, similar to like I would with a easy bar or dumbbells. Big thing with this one is just the chains add a little bit of an element of instability, which causes you to, again, stabilize more, recruits a little bit different muscle fibers, and it's just a way of changing things up, keeping it interesting. So we're gonna do 3 working sets here, again, around 10, 12 reps, so a little bit heavier. Now the next movement is going to be a V-bar press down. And with this one, you can see I've got my fat grips on here. I just personally prefer throwing the fat grips on this, a cable attachment. It just feels better for me. You can do it with or without them. It really doesn't make a huge difference. It's just kind of personal preference. I just, like I said, I like the feeling of them. I like the thicker grip. It feels better on my wrist. I'm able to focus on my triceps a little bit more and put the emphasis on them. So with this one, going a little bit heavier. We're gonna be doing 4 sets, around 8 to 10 reps per set. Focus on full range of motion, lock out at the bottom, squeeze, hold it for a second, all the way up, squeeze, stretch the tricep out, and back down. So last movement, last thing that I'm going to be doing is a circuit for core. So I'm going to hit an ab circuit. Starting off with ab wheel rollouts, going to be doing around like 8 to 10 reps. Then I'm going to move right into hanging leg raises or hanging knee raises as I start to fatigue. And after that, I'm going to finish it off with some cable crunches. So using the rope, just using some rope crunches. And with that one, with both of those movements, gonna be aiming for like 8 to 12 reps. Nothing crazy. I haven't done core consistently in a long time, so I'm probably only gonna do 2 circuits. If your guys' core is stronger than mine, I'd recommend doing at least 3, if not 4 circuits, but I gotta start building up into doing more core volume, which I'm gonna try to do like every other day, some type of core movement. At least like some type of core circuit. So that's what I'm doing right now, and then that's gonna pretty much be the end of the workout. Once I finish off with this, then I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna start cooking. During this whole workout, I've had a couple people stop by and pick up some stuff that I was selling, so I've got like $1,040 that'll help pay for the lat pull down that I've ordered. And yeah, I've got somebody else, you guys have probably seen it in the background of some of these clips. I've got an 8 to 40 pound Ivanko dumbbell set, just kind of like rubber hex head dumbbells with the stand. Picked that up yesterday for 175, 180 bucks actually is what I gave them because I didn't have exact change. So just gave them $180 for it. And then I've got somebody coming by probably in like the next half hour, 45 minutes to pick it up for $750. So yeah, I was asking 800, I told him I'd take 750 and he's on his way over. Just goes to show you that right now, if you can find deals, they're definitely out there. They're really hard to find, but if you find them, right now is a great time to be flipping stuff. Do I feel bad about it? No. Everything that I've flipped so far, everybody that has purchased something from me, I'm not like super price gouging. I'm not selling things for like $3, $4 a pound. I'm not buying new stuff like off of Rogue strictly to flip it. I'm just getting really good deals off of Craigslist, Facebook, OfferUp, things like that. And I'm just selling it for what the current market value is. Whether or not you like that, that's your own decision. Personally, I've made close to about $5,000, $6,000 just in the past like 2 to 3 months since the pandemic started. And it's helped pay for probably about half my gym setup. So it just goes to show you that if you are diligent and you can find deals out there, you're able to outfit your whole gym even right now. Personally, I would never pay the current like inflated exorbitant prices that the used market is selling stuff for. I would use things like the Rogue stock bot in order to get new equipment for the price that you're paying, and or like the Rep Fitness stock bot. And yeah, I would just kind of hold off, try and wait through this as much as possible because things are starting to slowly come down. Stock is starting to be able to last a little bit longer. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of my view of the whole situation. But anyway, I am rambling as always. I'm just kind of delaying myself here. I got one more circuit to do. Like I said, I'm only doing 2 of these circuits. I'd recommend doing 3 or 4 if you guys have been doing core more often. And then I am going to go inside and start cooking. Well, first I'm going to eat because I am starving. It's almost 1 o'clock. All I've had to eat today is my spinach and orange juice smoothie, and I had that at like 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's now almost 1 o'clock. So yeah, I need to eat. I am starving. So let's finish this workout up and let's go inside.
For the record, ain't tryna link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, for the record.